And welcome to Monterrey, where we are watching this all-important game at Universitario Stadium. Capacity of just over 45,000, and this is packed with eager Mexicans anticipating Mexico's first ever entry into the semi-finals of this World Cup competition, looking for their 7th win in World Cup today. They've been in 9 World Cups, and there we see this lineup of whom so much is expected by this nation.
And in the Mexican lineup, they're basically going with the same team that have gotten them through all of their victories up to now, with just the one notice at the time that Sanchez did not play. But Coach Milutinovic is going with the same team and hoping to create Mexican history today.
And the referee and the linesman, what an immense task they have ahead of them today. The referee, Jesus Diaz Palacio of Colombia, only 31 years of age, the only Colombian participant in this World Cup, tasked with this immense job of refereeing this high-tension game, where so much is expected of this side. We keep saying that when we do the Mexican game, but it's absolutely true. This crowd just beside themselves with tension, emotion, and expectation.
And in the German lineup, there's one change. Rudi Völler is not playing, and in comes defender Andreas Braham. And we sort of wonder why that's happened, but I think Mr. Beckenbauer has brought in an extra defender, maybe to leave Briegel, Heinz-Peter Briegel, to go forward.
So lots of expectation. The wall already starting. Relatively cool day for Monterrey. No altitude problems in Monterrey. Heat problems. It's only 30 degrees Celsius in Monterrey. 60% humidity. So for Monterrey, where the West Germans last played and it was 38 degrees, a relatively cool day for them. And Germany in their white shirts and black shorts, a very typical outfit for Germany, and Mexico, of course, in their green shirts. But what an important game for Mexico.
And the last time these two teams met in World Cup play was in Argentina in '78, and West Germany won that game 6-0.
Hans-Peter Briegel, number 2 for West Germany. He's known as the Wald from Faust, which means a steamroller. And it's a very apt description of this huge man, very, very strong indeed, loves to go down the left side. He will be a distinct threat for Germany. And today, starting for Germany, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who hasn't played very well in this World Cup to date, got his first start in their last game and therefore has the feel of the situation. And if Rummenigge, who has the ball now, has a good game, there will be a very strong chance for Germany.
And in that game in '78, when West Germany did win, there's only 2 players left on both the teams from that. One is Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, and the other is Hugo Sanchez. So they'll both remember that game.
And there is Sanchez in possession. So, early hesitant moments in this very important game. Both sides settling. Mexico playing with the enormous advantage of this totally supportive crowd. Amador pushing it out to the left side. Every time Mexico gets possession and push forward, there is a roar of expectation from this crowd.
Jeff, in my experiences in playing in some of these situations, especially down here in Mexico, when the crowd gets like this, very difficult to think and to even tell where your own teammates are, because they can't shout at you. So very difficult task for Germany, and almost like an extra man for Mexico.
Well, Hugo Sanchez, their great star who plays for Real Madrid, as we see Mexico on the edge of the area, chipping across, and a desperate pass back to Tony Schumacher, who is very glad to fall on that ball. And the crowd again roaring tumultuously as Mexico penetrated the West German penalty area. Now a breakaway chance for Germany, but Pablo Larios challenged right on the edge of his area and throws it out to the left side. So these teams still in the early settling stages, and the atmosphere absolutely electric in this stadium. And this, a kick to Mexico given by Mr. Palacio of Colombia. 31 years of age, enormous pressure on this referee today. Sabine down the right side. And Germany will need to draw a upon all their experiences as the linesman's flag goes up for offside. They have a very, very impressive World Cup record. They've played in 11 out of the 13 World Cups, equal second to the great Brazil with Italy. And we saw Brazil go out earlier today in that dramatic game with France. But they played, before they came into this World Cup, 54 games in the World Cup. They won 31 of them, drew 11 and lost 12, and scored an immense 122 goals for and 78 against. So they will need all this experience, and they will need the calmness and precision that the stereotype of the West Germans leads us to believe and expect. Because this side, in the green jerseys of Mexico, are playing with emotion, and they are, without question, the best prepared Mexican side ever. Bora Milutinovic, the Yugoslavian coach, 7 years in Mexico, has done a good job, and we see number 17 overlapping, a chance of a cross, but over the goal line for a goal kick.
Mexico looking very strong in his first few minutes, and of course carrying the play. And I think that's, by the looks of it now, that's what Germany is going to let them do, carry it a little bit. But the Germans defend well, and they can counterattack very quickly, especially with the likes of Karl-Heinz Rummenigge.
But one would expect, Sam, that if Mexico were to score first, this crowd, first of all, would go berserk. But the impetus it would give to Mexico may make it very difficult even for these West Germans to handle. That's a foul, but the referee says play on. Germany in possession. Norbert Eder. Germany now looking to find men in space. A chip forward. Nodded on. The German threat on the edge of the box. Bremer well covered by two Mexicans, and the ball into touch for a Mexican throw. Pablo Larios had a lot of training dealing with high balls. Mexican coach decided that this was a weak area of his, so he spent many hours training to deal with high balls. And generally speaking, in the game so far, through the first round and second round, he dealt with them reasonably competently. One or two shaky moments, but generally handled them well. High ball towards the area by Mexico. Riegel nods it back to Tony Schumacher. The West Germany coming away down the left side. It's a foul on West Germany.
You can see the referee really having to blow his whistle because it's very difficult for the players to hear. But one thing that Mexico shouldn't start to do is play on too much emotion. That tackle was a little bit late, and it was a bad tackle, and they'll have to be careful of it.
And down receiving treatment, Karl-Heinz Forster, very experienced West German defender, plays for VfB Stuttgart, 8 years in the international side, played in this World Cup in 1982, and is a very, very good tight marker. He may be given the task today of marking the great Sanchez, number 9 for Mexico.
And we've really not seen Sanchez as we know him as a tremendous goal scorer. He scored the one goal that we did see, but we know that he's got a lot of more goals in him, and if anyone's ever going to carry Mexico through today, it could be Hugo Sanchez.
Still, neither side truly settled. Moving towards the 10-minute mark of this first half. West Germans back in numbers in defense as Mexico in possession. Serving keeps his feet, tries to get that ball through. West Germany playing it out coolly, Jakob. But to avoid too much thrill in the penalty area and be very solid and quick to that loose ball, because these Mexicans are mercurial, and that's a foul. So West Germany now with a free kick in a potentially dangerous position. Matthias claiming that foul. And we saw Matthias score from that set play against Morocco to bring them through to this quarter-final. The winner of this game playing France in the semi-final. So, kick to West Germany. Light breeze blowing in Monterrey, 30 degrees Celsius, 60% humidity, so this is a difficult situation to play. And here it comes. Driven, Larios, a graceful dive, collects that ball well, holds onto it safely, extinguishes that threat from West Germany from that free kick.
The fans let out a loud cheer as Larios dove on that ball, but I think you and I know he could have probably stood there and picked it up, and sometimes the acrobatics can cause you a problem because he may drop the ball. So he needs to make sure he saves the ball, but I don't think he needs to do the acrobatics.
Now Germany attacking. Klaus Allofs pushing across to the right. Mathias, that's a good ball if he has the pace. Berthold. But poor cross. Safely gathered by Mexico. Larios may get a touch of this, but instead it's brought out to the right side. So Raul Servin. Rummenigge coming across the cover. Pushed forward nicely. Hugo Sanchez. And that ball going astray. And Hans-Peter Briegel, the massive Briegel, playing with two Mexicans, but it's a kick. So it's another kick to West Germany. It's Diaz Palacio and Hans-Peter Briegel. It would be a great tragedy if he was to go off injured. It looks like the inside of the left knee. He's already missed one game in this World Cup through injury. And it would be a major loss to West Germany if their very powerful left back, who loves to roam so much of this left side, were to be lost to the German team so early in this game. Receives his treatment. And West Germany will wait to take this kick. Briegel is back. Seems to be fully mobile. So Andreas Bremer takes this kick for Germany. Can't make his mind up what to do with it. Mexicans marking tight. Berthold nods it in. Magat can't get to that ball in time. That's a dangerous high foot. Referee says play on. Advantage to Mexico. That could have been dangerous on Negrete. But Mexico is who come away with it. Hugo Sanchez tries to thread that ball into the box, but intercepted by Germany and then into touch.
The referee did well there, Jeff, to let the play go on, and it's good refereeing.
And the Labatt TV series will return after this match.
Heat wave, feel the sunshine beating, feel the feeling of a heat wave. Budweiser, there's no other beer like a cold, refreshing bar. Budweiser, we should be more and more. The most popular beer in the whole wide world. This Bud's for you. It's got Beechwood Ace taste. Budweiser, that great Bud taste keeps coming through. This Bud's for you.
Canavision 8 is the 8mm one-piece video camera and recorder that puts the whole world of Canon experience right in the palm of your hand. Canavision 8 lets you capture hours of memories with autofocus and Canon power zoom lens. You'll shoot Canon quality pictures you can play back straight from the camera. The Canon Canavision 8. We put the whole world in your hand.
And welcome back to Monterrey Universitario Stadium, where this tension-filled game is now moving towards 15 minutes. Still no score. Neither side having truly settled, but a great deal of emotion and a lot of tension as Mexico try to win their 7th World Cup game and try to enter the semi-final for the first time. And we're noticing, Sam, I think that the referee is trying to let play flow, but is allowing one or two things to go which perhaps should be pulled up early, because it's very difficult to tighten the screws if you relax them initially.
Very much so, especially with this much emotion in a game like this.
And there, Mexico, very threatening. Nice cross by Servin, which the West Germans are pleased to nod away for a corner. So Harold Tony Schumacher has now organized this German defense, because if these Mexicans score early, they could be very, very difficult indeed to hold. Hugo Sanchez right beside Schumacher inside the 6-yard area. Here comes the cross. Safely caught by Schumacher. And pushes, I think that was Sanchez away, who was giving him too close attention, and the referee saw it. That's a rather stupid move by Tony Schumacher.
The referee did very well there, because the Mexicans know there's a lot of emotion here, and they're trying to get the referee swayed a little bit. And as soon as Schumacher went near the Mexican player, he just took a dive. But well done by the referee under very difficult circumstances.
He's only 31 years of age, this referee, relatively inexperienced, not long on the FIFA list. And one watches Hugo Sanchez. Beautiful play, but Karl-Heinz Forster dispossessed him. Berthold brings it away up the right side. That could have been very dangerous indeed. Hugo Sanchez showing some of his magic. But as I was saying, this referee, while being 31 at the start of this game, may feel about 40 by the time he's finished it. Because he has this huge crowd, the power of their voices. They're willing, this Mexican team, to score this goal, and he must remain calm, cool and collected and make his decisions instantaneously and firmly. So this a dangerous kick to the Mexicans. The German four-man wall. And he says, yes, gentlemen, I want you back 10 yards, and I'm satisfied that you are back 10 yards. Now don't encroach. Here it comes. Fortunately, straight at Schumacher, but a well-hit ball. The crowd roared, deep-throated, in expectation of that one, to get their heroes on the scoreboard, but Germany survive it. Magat tries to come away down the left side, but there are four Mexicans in attention, and the giant Briegel now in possession. Brings it out to Bremer. Now Germany trying to settle on this a little bit, and try to get into some sort of a rhythm. Berthold puts it back. Karl-Heinz Forster. Back to Berthold. With the right wrist in a tap. Felix Magath. Shifts it to Mateus. Safely back to Pablo Larios. Amador, a probing ball at the left side. Aguirre. Rummenigge in attention, but not able to do anything. Mexicans coming through quickly to surprise these Germans, but that will be a foul by Sanchez. Kick to West Germany. Just over 15 minutes gone in this tension-filled first half, and one must get the impression, I think, Sam, that the longer this game goes, the more chance there will be for Germany to settle down, and the less chance for Mexico to capitalize on emotion and an early surprise.
I think very much so. If Mexico is going to do well, they needed to do well in the first 20 or 30 minutes, and I'm sure the way West Germany is playing right now, pulling men back, they want to survive that first 20 or 30 minutes and try and control the rhythm of the game. And right now they're doing a good job with it, and it's very difficult for Mexico to get through.
Comes across to Bremer. Looks for help on the left side, but mistake and a chance for a Mexican breakaway. Thomas Boy protects it. A beautiful ball to Sanchez. He's not offside. Oh, tried to slip it across instead of trying to beat the goalkeeper himself, and the chance lost. But the whistle has gone.
I think he'd blown for offside there as Hugo Sanchez tried to put the ball back to Thomas Boy. I think Thomas Boy was ahead of him, and I think there was an offside call. But why Sanchez didn't try to shoot on his own? It looked like he got the ball tangled in his feet. But they're not going to get many of those chances as a German player makes a mistake. Here he's in, and he tries to do it. And Thomas Boy just caught offside there. But a great chance for Mexico and Sanchez.
Very close for Thomas Boy being offside, and remarkably close for West Germany going one goal down there. But they survive it, and they come away on the left side. That was a very costly mistake by Andreas Bremer. Hans-Peter Briegel bulldozing his way up the left side, hoping for the throw but not getting it. Mexico to take the throw. Servine to throw when he eventually gets the ball. So this very experienced West German side, who up to now in this World Cup have not truly shown us what they are made of, very much up against it with this emotionally charged Mexican side, eager to draw first blood. Bit of scrambling in the German defense, and if they play it out too much like that, they're going to make mistakes and give Mexico possession. And it is, in fact, a Mexican throw. So still danger. Servine to take the throw. That's to Sanchez. And he's fouled. And it's a very dangerous free kick to Mexico on the edge of the West German penalty area.
And we've seen Mexico, they've been together a long time. They've been working on their free kicks, corner kicks, set plays. And out of all the teams, probably had the most success with their set plays. So I'm sure we'll see something hopefully creative from Mexico here.
You see in the corner of the screen, Harold Schumacher has got a bag in the back of the German net. I'm surprised that the referee has not moved that out by now. We've seen them fairly stringent on that. Now we have a huge West German wall here. 6-man wall. Mexico well rehearsed on their free kicks. Played 62 preparation games together, and therefore they should know exactly what is on here. Referee not quite satisfied that the West German wall is far enough back, and if he isn't, the man on the end of the wall will get a card. Here he goes. Tried to bend it, a little bit of mistiming. The wall did its job. So West German defense is off the hook, or is it?
As that ball went into the wall, I think it struck one of the German defenders, and the loud cheer that went up, they were looking for a handball, but I think it would be a very difficult call for the referee to make. But there looked to be a mix-up after we had said that you'd think the Mexicans, being together so long, the team would know their free kicks, but two of the players went for the ball at the same time. So a wasted effort.
A little bit of mistiming, and we're seeing, I think quite naturally, with this immense amount of tension, scrappy play, neither side able to settle down. And it may, of course, take a goal, or it may take much more time in this first half for them to settle down as they start to get tired. And there's the first yellow card of the proceeding to Aguirre. That is not a very smart move on the part of the Mexican. The second one, of course, and he's in desperate trouble. But my partner tells me that this is his first one. Sanchez having a quick word with the referee, but Mexico must curb their emotions. So much at stake for this side. So great are the expectations, but they have to remain calm despite all of it. That ball will be into touch for a West German throw, which Norbert Eder will take. No, he will be replaced by Lothar Matthäus, clearly in possession of a longer throw. Here comes Matthäus. Nicely into the 6-yard area, or just on the edge of it, almost as good as a corner. And a chance there for Briegel. But the referee's whistle has blown and his hand is up. So the scrappy play continues, and Mexico takes the kick. +3 winds, 30 degrees Celsius. So nice for spectating, but these men will not agree with that, particularly in the second half, when the heat is taking its toll.
Right now, mind you, the game is being played at a fairly slow pace, both teams using a slow build-up. We haven't seen much attacking from both sides. I think they're still a little bit leery of maybe giving away a goal.
Constant roaring of the crowd. Alof to Rummenigge. Briegel down the left side, at speed down the left side, trying to cut into the area, but beautifully dispossessed, into touch, West German throw.
And that is the first time, I think, or maybe the second, that we've seen Karl-Heinz Rummenigge finally come into this game. And if West Germany is going to do well, they need him to play a good game.
Throw taken by Germany. Andreas Bremer. Nice touch. And the intention was good, I think. Take a quick one. Try to catch Pablos Larios in surprise. And World Cup 86 on CBC Sport will continue in a moment.
André Lachapelle knows quality when she sees it.
When people talk about the good life, what they really mean is good friends. So when I offer my friends a beer, I give them the best.
John Labatt Classic, carefully Krausen brewed in small quantities. One of the world's longest aged beers.
My friends and I agree. Classic tastes smooth and rich. It's a truly exceptional beer.
Make yours the best.
John Labatt Classic.
Kaufman King Treads. For a tough job, get one of the toughest boots money can buy. Rugged leathers. Steel toes. Safety soles. CSA Grade 1. Tough soles. Guaranteed not to separate. Comfort from day one. Remarkable Kaufman King Treads. Tough enough to take anything you can throw at them.
Klaus Alof taking this corner for West Germany. A high curving in-swinger, and Mexico pleased to head it over the goal line. And this time West Germany will take the corner from the other side. So the first signs of West German pressure, perhaps the first signs that they are beginning to settle down in this exceptionally scrappy game with around 25 minutes of the first half gone.
The other thing that we see different in this stadium to Aztec too, where the fans are that much closer, which makes them even more difficult to deal with for the German players, because in Azteca, there's that moat there and they're farther away, but here they're close. And Mexico has never lost in this stadium.
Swinging corner. Briegel trying to get into it. But the day's saved. Yes, for those who believe in tradition, Mexico not having lost in this particular stadium, we have a technician back in Mexico City who has forecast right on the last 6 games in this World Cup and who takes Mexico to win this one. So if his run holds true, this will be one of the major surprises and the entire nation will go mad tonight. Briegel brings it away. That's a good long ball if he has the speed to get there. Klaus Alof checks and looks for support in the center. Well, Harris gets it back to Briegel. But a bad ball from Briegel and Mexico able to clear. Now a chance for a Mexican break. These sides now at last beginning to settle, but that's a bad one. Very much a stray. Jakobs inside. Bremer. Overlap on the right. Berthold gets it. Under pressure from the Mexican defense. Beats 2 men. But waits his ball after doing good work. Now a chance for Mexico. Germany beginning perhaps to show the first signs of getting into a rhythm. Now a chance for Sanchez to bring Mexico forward. Beats a man nicely, but finds no support and has to push it back. Savin. Overlap on the right. Espana dummies his cross, pushes it back to Savin. 2 Mexicans in the area. Chance again. But a German boot in the way to clear the danger temporarily at least. That one will pose no test at all for Tony Schumacher. And a long throw down the left side. Alof's there, going to get a yellow card from the referee. Just whistling Klaus Alof's back to make sure that he understands he has received the yellow card. Or maybe he's wanting both players in. Alof's a little reluctant to come forward. Rather like a shy schoolboy receiving a prize, but now he does, and he gets his yellow card. It's not the prize he wanted, but it's the one he got. So Klaus Alofs now had better be careful, and Klaus Alofs is a very, very accurate striker for West Germany, and they can ill afford to be without him. So the referee exerting his influence, and perhaps very sensibly, this breeze now having got up a little bit, and presently blowing against West Germany.
West Germany's looked most dangerous when they've gotten that ball wide and into the corners. They've done very well with it, so hopefully they'll try and get a few more of those balls and exert a bit of their authority and experience.
Bremer. Nice ball for Magath, gets the ball across well into Mexican head and the goalkeeper's hands, and they weren't quite as one. But nobody on the West German right flank to do anything about this. And Mexico bring it away, Eldia Negrete. Negrete, who scored that beautiful volley for Mexico in one of their earlier games. In fact, against Bulgaria. So Mexico saving the day, partly because Germany had no one in support on the right flank. Savin. Mexico attacking mainly down the right side. Sanchez back to Savin. Mexico going in the wrong direction, which the Germans don't mind one bit, and now they're going to try the left side. Amador, but a German interception from a bad ball by Amador. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, challenged by 2 Mexicans. Referee says play on. Klaus Alofs looking somewhat despondent. Possibly because things are not going too well, and also, of course, because he's just received a yellow card. Cruz. And West Germany cut off that threat. Heinz-Peter Briegel. That's a flick on to nobody in particular, and Mexican defenders able to get back very easily. Raul Servín. Crowd now becoming a little bit cynical, perhaps, about this somewhat desultory play. It looked to us as though West Germany were beginning to settle, but I think they promised only to deceive, and this play is still scrappy as we move into the 30-minute mark of this first half. Now a chance for Mexico, but a German defender's legs in the way. Mexico still in possession. Aguirre, well marked. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Magath, to a Mexican. Hugo Sanchez fighting with Karl-Heinz Forster, who seems to have got the marking job, Sam.
Well, it seems right now that the West Germans are just sitting back and pulling all their men back, and Mexico is having a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to get through. Their build-up is so slow and being very predictable right now that Germany's not having much trouble dealing with it. They'll have to look for one of those two piercing passes or something a little bit quicker to get by the Germans.
Now Germany coming away in midfield. And Peter Briegel is possessed by Espana, and now a chance for Mexico to come out, but they continue to turn back for their support rather than looking forward. Support now on the left for Munoz. Negrete again. Ball is across, but headed out there by Jakob. Berthold. Kremer. Felix Magath. Rummenigge prepared to go through the middle. Magath elects to put it back. Karl-Heinz Forster. Heavy challenge there by Amador. And Karl-Heinz Forster looks somewhat surprised at all of that.
Every time Germany seems to get an attack going there, they get fouled, and I think the referee's going to have to look at this a little bit more, because Mexico seems to be doing more of the fouling right now than Germany is.
This match so far in sharp contrast to that beautiful exhibition of soccer that we saw earlier today. France against Brazil. Brazil out, and therefore certainly not going to be the first team to win 4 World Cups. In fact, nobody can do that because Italy have also left the competition. So the two nations who've won the World Cup 3 times each are in no position in World Cup 86 to win their 4th. Mexico on the attack. Sanchez wide on the left. Mexico elects to go through the middle. Here's a chance. Turns it nicely, but gives a chance for the West German defense to get back in numbers and clear the threat. And an injured ankle into the bargain.
That was one of the better breaks by Mexico. A quick through ball, and there was Thomas Boy. And I think maybe twice now we saw Sanchez go through and Thomas Boy, and maybe they should just shoot a little bit quicker and take a chance. You might as well shoot, and if you miss, at least you miss, but not just to give the ball away.
And there's always the chance of a knockdown from a shot, too. And if you've got people following up, there's a chance to tap that ball in. Klaus Allop, but definitely fouled there. Kick to West Germany. This in a dangerous position. Central, and a matter of 15 meters outside the box.
And this is where West Germany has to keep their temper. They're getting fouled a fair amount here, but with the experience in that team, they should be fine, but it is a bit of an unsettling experience.
Well, I'm sure their team chef, Franz Beckenbauer, who has 103 caps for West Germany, a record, has told them in their pre-match talk, you're likely to get a lot of this. Mexico are likely to try to provoke you because they know they have the support of this immense crowd and this very vocal crowd, and they know that pressure will be put on the referee. So here we have a very quick, early substitution for Mexico. Just coming in, number 6, Martinez. Carlos de los Cobos Martinez. Plays for America in Mexico City. And we're not sure why that was, but it happened awfully quickly. So the wall is set. 6 in the wall. And that one wasn't too far away and had Larios stretching in the goal. And the Labatt TV series will return after this message.
We work the CM way because our prairie's wealth depends on an efficient railway to keep costs down and make our grain competitive in distant lands. We work to increase that efficiency with double track and high-tech fiber optics cables underground, working towards a lean, compact efficiency to serve our country better, making CN fit for the world ahead.
For all the unsung heroes. For all the guys who go the extra distance. You work hard. Now Right Guard works harder for you. With new Right Guard deodorant stick. Wider to go on easier, and specially formulated to last longer than ever before. New Right Guard deodorant stick. It works overtime.
Welcome back from Monterrey, Universitario Stadium, where the score is still 0-0, and some sad news for Mexican supporters. Their captain, Thomas Boy, has gone off with an injured ankle. He's been stretchered off. He walked off the field under his own steam, but he's now on a stretcher. His shoe and sock are off, and it looks like an injured ankle. And he has been replaced by Carlos de los Cobos Martinez, number 6.
We've seen, and of course, we're in the rainy season here in Mexico, and this pitch is a little bit soft too. And I think when he tried to cut back, when he was put through there, I think he caught his ankle and it just didn't turn, and he's probably just twisted his ankle. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious.
There's a chance, however, for Mexico. Threatening on the edge of the area. Aguirre, and West Germany very pleased to clear that with some desperation. But a threat there from Mexico. Be interesting to see, Sam, how the Mexicans reorganize with the absent captain Thomas Boy, because he has a very good influence on this side, calms them when it's necessary, imposes himself on the game, and he will be sadly missed.
Very much so, just for his leadership, but I think this is where Hugo Sanchez, who they all respect highly, will have to take a bit more of a grip and say, let's get on with it, we've lost him, but we'll play as well as we can play.
West German defense seemingly becoming increasingly capable of handling these Mexican threats. And yet another foul on West Germany. But as you said, I think, Sam, they have been well prepared pre-match and are handling these with considerable discipline.
So the way West Germany is playing now, they're almost just sort of playing in a gear one less than they normally could. And you almost expect any time for them to come out and start playing like we know they can.
Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Closely attended. Felix Magath. Hans-Peter Briegel on the left. Rather dramatic stretch by Briegel, but it was a foul, and it will be a kick to West Germany. Moving into the 38-minute mark of this first half, the massive legs of Hans-Peter Briegel going into that penalty area to use his power and height to advantage when this cross comes in. Larios having a quick word with his defense. And the Mexicans start the wave to try to disrupt this German free kick, doubtless. And the roar increases, and here it comes. But Larios made his mind up early and decisively and made easy meat of that one, and Mexico come away. Negrete, El Dia Negrete. No quick break. So they played around in their own half, and now they're into the West German half, Servie. West German defense coming to the ball quickly, tackling decisively. Alop foul, kick to Germany. Taken quickly by Rummenigge. Finds Mateus on the left. Klaus Alop looking for support, pushes it in. Rummenigge waiting. No, that's Bremer. Bremer to Bethel. Overlap by Eder on the right. Inside to Bremer. Felix Magath. Now Germany beginning to move this ball around. Beautiful ball to Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. But the Karl-Heinz Rummenigge of old was missing there. We didn't see quite that acceleration that we expect from this man.
He received a very good kick in the back heels, though, when he went to shield that ball, and he was just waiting to do something with it, and he got tackled from behind. But I'm still waiting. I mean, we know he's not played much, and he's been injured, but the talent's still there. It's just a matter of getting himself into the game, getting involved more in the game.
So this would be a very, very important time to score a goal from this corner. Larios comes out, didn't quite get hold of it, but the Mexican defense were able to scramble it away. Karl-Heinz Forster pushing it right. Ada to Bethel to Ada. Oh, very casually seemed to drive that ball into the Mexican. No real attempt to beat him. The referee says play on and Mexico have possession and try the left side. But a long ball back to Tony Schumacher.
Mexico just doesn't have that, or doesn't seem to have that ability to break quickly. Every time they break very slowly, and they'll never beat the West German defense if they build up real slow, because that's what the Germans want.
Sanchez plowing a lonely furrow in the West German half, not getting a lot of support up front. Can't show his skills if they don't give him the ball. So German possession, and they too, like the Mexicans, not building up with any real speed and not making a lot of progress. So a disappointing first half so far as we come just over the 40-minute mark. There was a push in the back. Kick to Mexico. The crowd having been somewhat silent because their national team has not yet got on the scoreboard. But now with Mexican possession, the roar mounts. But Germans are there in numbers, and now is a chance for a German break, but that's too far ahead, and Larios easily able to handle it and to set the Mexicans off down the left side. Levine receives, but Briegel pressures, pushes it back to Larios. The pressure of the moment seems to be dominating this game rather than the demonstration of skills by these two sides. Both sides very nervous about making mistakes. And there's one, but the flag is up just as Sanchez thought he had a loose ball and an open run to the goal.
Trying to use some of the tricks I'm sure he's learned in Spain by leaning on the defender and just trying to put him off a bit and hope that the referee, getting caught up in this emotion, just may let it go.
So certainly Mexico have not been able to capitalize upon an early surprise and an early goal. And while this game so far has not been scintillating, more of a testing time and a lot of scrappy play, the longer it goes, the more one has to feel that the West Germans have a chance to settle down as the referee delivers a lecture to the Mexican bench. Bora Milutinovic. Referee said, stay down where you are. We don't want any coaching on the touchline. It's not permissible. So West Germany bringing the ball out. Moving into the final 4 minutes of the first half. Still no score in Monterrey Universitario Stadium, but still high expectations by the totally partisan crowd. Referee's not satisfied. Kick to Mexico. Mexico bringing the ball out very slowly indeed, and Germany in no hurry to press them. Chance for a long ball, but Norbert Ada back to Tony Schumacher, who receives a quiet visit from Hugo Sanchez. And there we see the Mexican bench. And the Mexican coach, Bora Milutinovic, not particularly happy. And I shouldn't think that Franz Beckenbauer is very happy either.
No, I would not think so. But in the same token, I think if we look at both teams over this first half, West Germany looks a little bit stronger and more confident, and we'd have to give them the edge in that. And when they do try that quick ball out of there, they do look very dangerous, whereas Mexico's looked a little bit ponderous up to this point.
So close to 47,000 spectators are here. Probably 46,950 of them are Mexicans. Came with high expectations, and they really haven't had a lot to cheer about in this first half. Now Rummenigge out wide, nods it in. There's a chance for Alof. A magnificent drive by Alof. That could have been a critical goal for West Germany, but the day saved for Mexico. But Germany threaten again, and Carlos Larios punches it out. And Matthias missed his pick, but Germany tried to catch him out of his goal and almost do.
That is twice. Sorry, Jeff, that Larios has made two tremendous saves. One of them a quick reaction save off of Alof, and then another quick save. Good pressure by Germany.
And the Kaiser, Franz Beckenbauer, looking concerned here as one of his men lays injured in the 6-yard area. It's Klaus Allofs, I think, with Karl-Heinz Rummenigge paying him close attention. Second attempt to score by Allofs, I think, was what resulted in that injury. But Germany came so close then.
Karl-Heinz heads the ball back well, and here comes Allofs. Good strike, straight at Larios, but a good reaction save, and they were still under pressure from there on. As they came back at it again, he crosses it in. I think we will see now as Allofs comes in. I think he just got a smack there from Larios, but a well played by Larios and a brave move by the German forward.
I think no question at all. Larios was doing his job. He was going for the ball, as was Allofs, trying to get a second chance to put Germany ahead. And there we've had the most thrilling 10 seconds of the entire first half, without question. West Germany almost going ahead on a superb first effort, and then a brave second effort by number 19, Klaus Allofs, who's also collected a yellow card in this half, so he's really getting himself into the game.
But in the same token, I think we can see now where West Germany does seem to have that little extra bit they can pull out, and I have to give them the advantage in this first half, but it would be nice to see maybe Pierre Ledbarsky come on for the second half to cause a little bit more excitement.
Hugo Sanchez strapping for that ball, and Mexico in possession. Espana right on the corner, fighting with Bremer for it. But he loses that, whatever it was. A little bit of wrestling filled in as well, and it will be a goal kick to West Germany. So we haven't had a great deal to get excited about in this first half, but in this last 2 or 3 minutes, we've seen some end-to-end activity. Karl-Heinz Forster gives it back to Tony Schumacher. On our watch, we're moving towards the 45-minute mark, and the crowd are now showing their displeasure at a less than pulsating first half. But a first half in which they might well have found themselves a goal down to this West German side that is gradually coming into this game.
I think they're putting their mark on this game slowly but surely. They're very confident in most of their build-ups, and when they do get through to Allofs, and if Karl-Heinz Rummenigge gets himself involved a little bit more, I think we'll see a different second half.
It will be interesting to speculate what the two coaches will have to say to their men when they have their half-time break. And Riegel tried to keep it in, but almost kept the Mexican in with him. So it's a Mexican throw. And all will be forgiven by this crowd, of course, if Mexico can score a goal. Particularly if they can score one and Germany can't score one. But there we are. The end of a somewhat disappointing first half. The score, Mexico 0, West Germany 0. West Germany slightly ahead on points, and the Labatt TV series will return after this message. And welcome back to Monterrey Universitario Stadium, where a capacity crowd of 47,000 are hoping for a second half, second game. Second game in the sense that it will be much more end-to-end and exciting than the first half, and that, of course, the end result will be a win for Mexico and an entry into the semi-final to play against France. But as we saw in the first half, and as Tony Waiters showed on his half-time telestrator, West Germany is beginning to come into their own. I was very interested, Sam, in his comment about the punch by Harald Schumacher, because the reserve goalkeeper, or the second-string German goalkeeper, Uli Stein, has been sent home. He expected to be the #1 goalkeeper and wasn't very satisfied that Harald Schumacher had got the starting position. I'm not quite sure why, because Schumacher's been the #1 for the last 6 years. But he voiced his disapproval and some criticism of the higher ranks of the West German officials, and the end result is that he's been packed off home. So if, in fact, Schumacher had been sent off, they would have had to bring on Immel as a substitute, probably, but of course they'd still have been playing with 10 men, so it would have put them in a very, very difficult position if that had happened. However, he didn't. So we start the second half under the guidance of Jizu Daya Palacio of Colombia. And we will hope that we see some more enterprising play in the second half than we did in the first, where we had a very evenly balanced, tight, strategical battle with Germany just emerging on top on point.
I think we'll see Germany start to come forward a little bit more now, and as we get into this half, the interesting game will be the substitutes and to see who's going to substitute what. And of course, Mexico has already used one of theirs, so they only have one left, and Germany has two.
And the Mexican substitute was the result of an injury to their captain, Thomas Boyd, who will be missed by this side. Without question, he injured an ankle and had to go off about halfway through this first round. And we noticed that at half-time, the somewhat aging striker from Bayern Munich, 33-year-old Dieter Hörner, has been spending a lot of time warming up. Now, he's very, very good in the air. He's not as fast as he used to be, but he would cause some problems to Larios with high balls being crossed by the Germans into the 6-yard area without question.
He'd cause Larios some problems and the Mexican defense some problems because they're not used to dealing with a lot of high balls and, of course, very good in the air, so it'd be a good move for the Germans.
Chance of a German threat, Bremer down the left. Larios not handling that ball cleanly first time, but getting a second opportunity and rolling it clear. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge up for that ball too, and perhaps the plan is for him to go off and for his replacement to be the equally threatening Dieter Hörner, particularly to high balls in the penalty area. But so far, no change. Germany still with their two substitutes, and as Sam said, Mexico only with one because of their early substitution as a result of Thomas Boyd's injury. Germany climbing all over Sanchez then. Chance for Sanchez to go round. Again, the dramatic effort to gain a kick to no avail. Germany coming away.
I think for Sanchez there, he's done it a couple of times now, taking that dive in the penalty box where he's had a chance to cross it. I think he'd be much better off just to try and cross the ball and see if he can cause the German team some problems that way.
Your recommendation would be stop the acting and stay on your feet. Now Mexico down the right side. Sevi. Negrete wants it, and Negrete gets it. Pushes it out to the right side to Zavine. Contemplates a cross. Changes his mind. Oh, but Eder, scrambling play. Now Germany settling onto it. Berthold coming away down the right. Had a good first half. Tries to beat his man. Not quite fast enough. One step short. Pablo Larios rolls it out to the right. Mexico still in their own half. Sanchez. Now three Mexicans in the German half. Now the ball in the German half, and they move forward. But again, very slow in their build-up. Munoz. Negrete. Germany a little bit casual, but now getting it. Karl-Heinz Forster moving it away. Riegel. To Jakob. To Eder. Karl-Heinz Forster looks around, finds Eder on the right. Side, a nice little touch to Karl-Heinz Forster. He's challenged by Negrete. Germany beginning to play the ball about a bit, but not going forward. The crowd showing their disapproval. There's an attempt to go forward for Rummenigge. Gets possession. Riegel supporting. Felix Magath not able to get that ball inside.
Germany looking much more authoritative going forward now, though. They're causing the Mexican team a lot more trouble. They seem to be just getting stronger and stronger, and Mexico will have to try and build up a little bit quicker if they're going to cause Germany any problems.
The foul by Kirate brings in response a kick to West Germany. Riegel's up there. Rummenigge's up there. Alosova runs the ball. Not satisfied that everybody was where he wanted them to be. So after that false start, we'll have a second attempt by Klaus Alof. The Mexican head to that ball. Chance for a shot here. But no threat at all. Matthias, fortunately, for Mexico didn't hit that one as well as he hit his free kick against Morocco.
And I think that's exactly what he was hoping for that long shot to dip a little bit. Sometimes when you hit a ball that's up in the air like that, bouncing, you can make it come down, and I think that's what he was hoping for.
Still have temperature hovering around the 30 degrees Celsius, but we're seeing the slow build-up of the clouds, which happens so often towards the late afternoon in Mexico. There's a 40% chance of rain in Monterrey. We hope that 40% will not increase before this game is over. So some 6 minutes of the second half gone. That ball's into touch for a Mexican throw. Quickly taken. Negrete was well bundled there by Lothar Matthäus. And that will be a kick to Mexico. Matthäus apologizes. Number 22, Eldia Negrete, will take this kick. Got a great left foot, and Tony Schumacher knows this. 6 Mexicans in the penalty area. And that's a Mexican head to it, trying to head on. Germany weather the threat. But the crowd there almost had a chance to get excited.
Well, the Mexican got a free header out of that one, which I'm really surprised at the German defense. And of course, it's Karate who scored a goal off a free kick and a header once in the opening game for Mexico.
One of their best defensemen in the air, and came up to head that goal against Bulgaria. So Mexico certainly knowing when to put their good headers up into the area for that free kick. But it's Klaus Allofs in possession. Haven't made any progress, and now they attempt to go up the left side. That's better for Felix Magath. Savine and Kirate helping. Host of Mexicans in attendance there, and the referee gives the kick to Mexico. And Felix Magath not particularly impressed, but realizing that there's nothing he can do about it. The kick to Mexico taken quickly to Servine. And Mexico continue their very slow build-up. Munoz. Across to De Los Cobos, who was the substitute for Mexico when Thomas Boy went off injured. Mexico now in the German half. Looking for Sanchez, but Karl-Heinz Forster hooks it away. They're told. Now continuing to move up the right. Karl-Heinz Forster. Felix Magath. Berthold on the right. Tries a first-time chip in to the on-rushing Magath. And Mexico played out calmly. Los Cobos into touch, Mexican throw. Wind becoming a little more blustery now as the clouds continue to build, and we hope this rain will be able to hold off with about 8 minutes gone in the second half and still no score here in Monterrey.
This game very reminiscent of West Germany's last game against Morocco, where Morocco's kept a lot of possession, as Mexico's doing now, but not going anywhere. So it almost seems a carbon copy at this point in time.
The prize at the end of this game, a game against France in the semi-finals. It would be the first time that Mexico had ever been in that position. A fairly familiar state of affairs for their opposition, West Germany. Referee whistles a foul, and the Labatt TV series will return after this message.
We're living every day in a special way, and we like Budweiser. That great Bud taste keeps coming through. This Bud's for you, for all you do. This Bud's for you. This Bud's for you.
Do you like lettuce, onions, pickles? Real cool, then you're gonna love what this side's got.
And when you taste the sizzle of McDonald's pure beef, you go crazy for the side that's hot.
And when McDonald's adds tomato, mayo, processed cheese
To the great taste, 100% pure beef.
with DLT. It's how McDonald's makes lettuce and tomatoes sing.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
And we're back in Monterey, and unfortunately, so far, with 10 minutes gone in the second half, our expectations have not been realized, nor have the expectations of this capacity crowd, because this is still a pedestrian game. Both sides very nervous as Hugo Sanchez is fouled by Karl-Heinz Forster. Forster marking Hugo Sanchez very tightly indeed, and gets the yellow card for his troubles there. It's just one for him, fortunately. And the other German players, Lothar Matthäus has a quick word with him. Be careful, Karl-Heinz. We want you to mark him tightly because he's dangerous, but we don't want to have you as a spectator. So the West German wall is being formed. Both sides, I think, exceptionally nervous still, don't want to take any chances. They're not prepared to push too many people up front. They're not prepared to come forward at speed because so much is at stake. And one would anticipate that the scoring of the first goal might turn this whole game around. But so far, it's been disappointing and pedestrian. And the chance now for Mexico to send this crowd delirious, because it's the result that matters most of all, and the Mexicans would be prepared to tolerate even 89 minutes of dull play if in the 90th minute their heroes could go ahead.
But I think it's the waiting game. West Germany is probably a little bit better at the waiting game than Mexico is, and they just seem to have that little bit extra when they need it.
Little chip by Negrete. Found the gap all right, but rather lamely finished. Almost fooled the West German defense there. They should have had a goal there, but a very lame finish from a promising start.
It was a well-taken free kick. Everyone waiting for the shot, and he flips it over to the side to Negrete. Could have been a better shot. Maybe he needed to cut that one back, but a good chance for Mexico and a good free kick. One of the better ones that we've seen so far.
Well, they've certainly had lots and lots of time to rehearse their play. They have been excused from their clubs. They have been able to train together 6-7 days a week, frequently twice a day. They've had 62 preparation matches, so they certainly should know each other's play. The only exception, in fact, is Hugo Sanchez, who, because of his Real Madrid duties, only played twice in this Mexican team in their 62 games. But he's such a talented player, he fits in very, very easily. And we see Kirate there, receiving a little bit of attention. And Karl-Heinz Rummenigge it will be who comes off, and the 33-year-old Dieter Hoeneß of Bayern Munich is coming on for his first start in World Cup '86. So they're obviously intending to put the Mexicans under pressure, particularly in the 6-yard area. Rummenigge off, Dieter Hoeneß on.
It'll be interesting now to see if they do use him to his advantage, which, of course, in the air, he is very good. See if they start to knock some high balls in. But to do that, they have to get wide and cut some balls across so that Hoeneß can run onto them.
Sanchez forward, but Karl-Heinz Forster in the way. Deadpool pushes it in. So now we'll see if the strategy of Franz Beckenbauer will pay off. Both sides now with one sub on. Martinez, Carlos de los Cobos Martinez from Mexico, brought on halfway through the first half. And now, at about the 14th minute of the second half, Rummenigge off and Dieter Hoeneß on.
And it will be interesting to see now, maybe a little while longer, we'll see Litbarski come on, who does so well on the wing and crosses some great balls. And this is what Dieter Hoeneß needed, that service.
Hoeneß into Karl and Peter Briegel. Mexico come away with it. Elvia Negrete, the referee blows there. A foul against Dietmar Jakob. Perhaps the first signs that the game is coming to life. And as it comes to life, so the spectators increase their support. There has been this dull roar throughout, but they really have had very little to get too excited about. Levine on the right. Espana. Bremer checking him. 3 Mexicans forward, but 3 Germans in the penalty area, and it's Germany who come away with it. Almost a chance there by Berthold, but now Mexico a chance to counterattack. Nice touch indeed, and a beautiful return, but Schumacher anticipating well and coming out. And Negrete apologizes to Ada. Nice touch. The referee just goes back to check that all is well, and Tony Schumacher pushes it out to Berthold.
Nice piece of play by Mexico, a quick 1-2 and the ball through. They need to do more of it.
Nice touch to Berthold too. Berthold trying to go through between two of them, but a third man intercepts. Have a little bit of all-in wrestling going on. Now a chance for De Los Cobos and Sanchez. Sanchez fouled. They did one tackle, but not quick enough to evade the second one. Free kick is taken, which suggests to Sanchez he'd better get back up because he's not going to get any further sympathy. Sanchez forward now, having recovered. Espana on the right. Briegel challenging. Negrete tries to push that through again, but Briegel on hand to cut it off. Schumacher comes out to the edge of the area and is ignored. Briegel pushes that ball to Alop. Goes harmlessly to a Mexican, Servin. Magat is challenging. Servin under pressure and looks for help. Finds it in the form of Amador. Certainly this game increasing in intensity. Very slowly, but very surely.
And it's Mexico that has picked up the pace of the game more than it has been the Germans. They almost look a little lackadaisical now, the German team.
We apologize for that brief loss of your video. There are some technical problems. We thought we'd iron most of them out in Mexico, having been running for some close to 3 weeks now, but we apologize for that brief loss of video. Mexico in possession. The score still Mexico 0, West Germany 0. A game which had a very quiet, tense first half, neither side willing to take risks, and the game just beginning to come alive. Lothar Matthäus, West Germany going forward in numbers. Ernest on a diagonal run, but the opportunity lost, and Mexico regained possession. Munoz pushing it to the right. Espana tries the ball through, loses possession, and Germany now in with a chance to mount their attack. Briegel tries to go down the left, but it's cut off, and it's a kick to Germany. So some signs that the game is improving, but the signs are not continuous by any means. There's still this nervousness, still this unwillingness to commit, because I think both sides realize, Sam, that one goal may well be enough, and they don't want it to be the opposition who scores it.
No one seems to want to take that little chance to try and get ahead because they're scared of making those mistakes, and they're almost settled, well, if we have to go 0-0 overtime and penalty shots, then that's the way we'll go. But let's not hope it goes that far.
So we have a strong German defense, but a German attack which has not really shown us too much in this World Cup so far. And now, of course, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who's also not really shown us a great deal in this World Cup, off taking his rest, and the 33-year-old Dieter Hörner, who we see now in the picture, replacing him, but not really having had much of the ball so far, and certainly not getting any service. So Mexico it is to bring it away. The crowd trying to encourage the players with their chants and their songs and their shouting, but the players not yet able to respond. Amador. Almost gave the ball away. Still Mexican possession. De Los Cobos. Karl-Heinz Forster. To a Mexican. Negrete trying to do something with it. Now a chance for Berthold. But he's very badly obstructed there, and it's a beautiful act of... Oh, incredible. A red card. Incredible decision.
He gave him that decision. He was hauled and hauled down, and as he was held back by the Mexican player, he threw his arm at him, and I think that the referee thought that he was taking a punch at him.
That is a very difficult decision to understand.
He was reacting. It's unfortunate. Berthold was reacting to being held back here. As you can see him, he's going through. The Mexican is holding him, and then as he goes down, he takes a quick swing at him. And that retaliation is what got him sent off.
It was more or less an open-handed swing and a tap on the back of the head, like behave and be a good boy, but the referee took issue with it. And so Berthold is off. He was shown the red card, and now Germany are in trouble as Franz Beckenbauer, their coach, shows his disapproval. And Germany will play Mexico with 10 men for the next 25 minutes.
And I think if I was Beckenbauer, I'd be very upset too, because, okay, there was a foul initially by Mexico. He retaliated, but I don't think it deserved a red card. He could have pulled a yellow card, but he went for that red card very quickly. Very unfortunate for West Germany. Now they're going to have to dig very deep.
Kick to West Germany. Klaus Allofs to take. Now this may change the form of the game enormously, because West Germany have to face the fact of 25 minutes with 10 men. They can substitute, of course, but not to bring 11 men on, merely to change a player who's already on the field. They must play with a man short because of Berthold having been given his marching orders. Bremer now attacks, tries a long one, harmless. Now the Mexican crowd getting behind their team, knowing they have numerical advantage. And now Mexico coming forward with a little more pace. And the crowd responds. So this now a very, very difficult job for this young referee from Colombia, because the Germans are going to put some bite into their play. The Mexicans are going to be stimulated by having numerical advantage, and the referee will have a very difficult job on his hands. Klaus Allofs, who already has a yellow card in this game, to Norbert Eder. But a bad ball by Jakob, leaving Herner stranded and giving it to Mexican possession. Pavine moving into the German half. Pavine has Espana on the right. Ernest intercepts. It's only about his third touch on the ball since he's been on the game. Gerarte pushing it through to Negrete. The Mexicans cheering. And the crowd begin to roar for the second Mexican substitution, and we can guess who it will be. Almost certainly to be number 5, Abuelo, known as the grandfather because his 20-year-old features are somewhat wrinkled. Negrete and Schumacher pleased to tip that one over. And the Labatt TV series will return after this message. So, a goal apparently, but disallowed by the referee, Mr. Palacio from Colombia. And so the excitement beginning to mount here.
Lots of hectic movement in the German penalty box, but it all had their hands up by the time the ball went in the net. There was a foul in there. I'm not sure whether it was offside or a handball as Mexico's player brought the ball down.
Looks like handball to me, Sam. And now this crowd really getting into this game, and the enormous roar accompanied the bringing on of number 5, Francisco Jimenez, known as Abuelo, the grandfather, because his 20-year-old features are somewhat wrinkled, premature aging. But the most important thing of all to this crowd, of course, is that Abuelo plays for Monterrey, so he is the local hero. And Bora Milutin has succumbed to the pressure, public and political pressure, doubtless, to bring on Abuelo. But Germany fighting back, and a foul there.
And what's more interesting about the substitute, of course, is Cruz is a forward midfielder, and they've taken off a defender. So with Germany playing with 10 men, I think they're going to play with one less at the back and try and push another one forward.
So a foul on Lothar Matthäus. And it was Lothar Matthäus who scored that free kick for West Germany in their victory over Morocco. So we'll see who's going to take this one, because it is in a dangerous area. There's Sanchez in the Mexican wall. There's España in the wall too, as is Felix Cruz. Number 19 is Klaus Allofs, who has a very accurate shot. Number 8, who's just hanging on the fringes, Lothar Matthäus. And now Matthäus moving into a position which looks as if he's going to take this shot, and he can bend these. Tries the high one, and it's wasted. And the crowd indicates their response to this. But now West Germany certainly up against it. 27 minutes gone in this second half. Mexico with both their substitutes on. Germany with 10 men as a result of Thomas Berthold having been sent off. Dieter Hoeneß on a substitute in place of Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Ball into touch for a West German throw. Sanchez appealing to the linesman, getting nowhere. Karl-Heinz Forster. Germany will now have to draw upon all their experience. Dieter Hoeneß. Klaus Allofs. Pushing it out to Matthäus. And to Ada. Matthäus again. Tries to beat 2 men. Fouls the Mexican in response. Kicks to Mexico. They've got to be very careful, these West Germans, otherwise there will be some more yellow cards dished out.
And the Mexicans are doing a very good job of acting. Every time they get kicked now, they're going down and rolling around and hoping that they can con the referee into maybe throwing someone else off.
Mexico coming to the ball quickly now. Oh, Allofs pulled down by España. So just under 17 minutes left in this half, and the way things are going, we may yet see the second extra time of the day. And if that is the case, Germany with 10 men are certainly going to be up against it.
Very, very difficult if it happens to go that far. They're going to have to hope to get downfield, look for a quick counterattack, but they still do have one substitute left as well.
And the selection of that substitute is going to be crucial. Devine playing on the right side. Now switches it inside to LG and Negrete. That's a nice kick forward. The German defense back, Bremer. It's a long ball straight to Negrete. Negrete wins the challenge. It is dangerous for España on the right. And if ever there was a ball for Tony Schumacher to catch cleanly, that was it. Now a chance for a German break. And he's very, very badly fouled. Surely that will bring a card. Indeed, the top pocket is unbuttoned. De Los Cobos, number 6. The first half substitute, Carlos De Los Cobos, gets the yellow card. We said this 31-year-old referee may become 40 by the end of this match, and it certainly looks this way at the moment because there's lots of tension and drama in Monterrey Universitario Stadium. Klaus Allofs, who had a yellow card himself, receiving attention from the German support staff. The wind continuing to be blustery, the temperature still high, and the clouds gradually building.
And even though Germany is only playing with 10 men right now, they're still holding their own, they're still managing to break out. They just have to keep their cool under all this pressure right now and look for that quick counterattack as they did there and hope they can get away and the Mexicans don't foul them as he did there, because he was on his way, he was getting away from. Good throw by Schumacher to start the counterattack very quickly, and he was on his way and brought down, and very intentionally brought down.
Oh yes, no attempt whatsoever to play that ball. The ball a good 2 meters away. Allofs at speed chasing it. And this crowd now with some 15 minutes remaining in this second half, and still having to await the opportunity to celebrate Mexico's first entry into the semi-finals of the World Cup. West Germany with 10 men. But beginning to move forward. And that's a nice ball. Dieter Hoeneß fighting back to gain possession, scrambling in the Mexican area. And finally, a hefty clearance away, and a bad mistake by Forster, who tries to rugby tackle his opponent, and eventually does get back and dispossesses him cleanly. Very fortunate for Forster that his hands were unable to reach the top of those shorts. Hans-Peter Briegel, the steamroller, coming down the left side. Servine dispossesses. Espana goes back to help. So space is beginning to appear as fatigue sets in, and as the fact of West Germany's 10 men also becomes more noticeable. But space is for both sides, in fairness. That's a good wall, but unable to get onto that. Abuelo, a lot of speed down this left side, somewhat unorthodox and individualistic, and that is why Bora Milutinovic doesn't play him very often in this Mexico side. But this is Monterrey, and this is Abuelo's home ground.
A very uncharacteristic throw from Schumacher there. He went to throw the ball out to try and launch a quick attack and threw it right off the field, and they can't afford to give the ball away when they've only got 10 men.
So Mexico bring it away down the left side. Carlos de los Cobos. Good German play there by Mateus. Hoeneß having the size to withstand that foul. Falls over Kirate, who it was that got Thomas Berthold into trouble. Chance again now for Germany, but dispossessed by superior Mexican numbers. Negrete. Mexico now beginning to move threateningly into the German area. The ball to Sanchez. The foot race here. Oh, I think there will have the penalty. But the referee gives a corner, and Sanchez has gone into Act 2, Scene 2 of whatever drama you care to think of. He shows his gymnastic skill and comes into the 6-yard area to await this ball from the corner.
Again, he got himself into a good position. He got put under a little bit of pressure by the German defender and decided, I'll take a dive rather than trying to play the ball. And I think he's hurting his team more than he's helping.
That's all the way over the goal line. The Germans claim a goal kick. The referee agrees. So Tony Schumacher will be able to take this goal kick for West Germany.
I'm not so sure that Sanchez wants a penalty, because it'd be interesting to see him take another one in front of this big crowd as he missed the one that he did before.
I think his popularity may decrease considerably if he were to miss a second penalty. Let's have a look at it.
Here we see Sanchez come through, and the defender Karl-Heinz Forster, who barely just touched him, and away he went. He took a dive.
I think your comment of earlier on, Sam, would be well worth repeating for Sanchez. Stay on your feet and keep in the action, and you'll do much more good to your team. But Mexico again on the attack. Negrete has a run by Negrete. Pulls it back and tips it over. But very fortunately for Schumacher, that Sanchez header straight into his arms. And the World Cup 86 on CBC Sports will continue in a moment.
This is Portaline Precision Saw Guide. It mounts to your circular saw in seconds. The ball-bearing action guarantees table saw accuracy. The Saw Guide makes your cutting job easy, and it is square. Cutting reach is over 15 inches. Adjustable from 0 to 45 degrees. Set the gauge for your miter, make one cut or 100, a perfect fit. For a compound miter, tip the saw to the selected angle. Gives your work that professional touch for picture frames and planter boxes. Here's a half-lap miter, a corner lap joint, and a box corner. Does dado work and much, much more. Lock it in place for storage. Remove 2 wing nuts, comes off in just seconds. The Portaline Saw Guide comes complete with owner's manual and a 1-year certificate of guarantee. Order now.
Visa, MasterCard, and COD orders, call toll-free or send check or money order for $49.95 plus $5 postage and handling to Saw Guide, Department NDC, 26 Les Mill Road, Don Mills, Ontario, M3B 2T5.
And welcome back to Monterrey, where the excitement mounts. Germany now on the attack, but Mexico pressing incessantly. Felix Magath pushing the ball out to Mateus. Alof out-headed. That ball with less than 10 minutes to go to Karl-Heinz Forster.
And we've still not seen those balls into Dieter Hoeneß so he can get up and head them yet. The service to him has not been there. Possibly, of course, they are only playing with 10 men, but they should try and use him to a little bit more to his advantage.
Certainly, if they're going to bring a man like this on for his strength in the air, their strategy so far has backfired because there has no way being any decent service to Hoeneß. But Mexico with a chance to press again. And their numerical superiority beginning to show, and if this game goes into extra time, it would be very, very difficult indeed for West Germany to survive. Beginning to be desperate in their tackles now. Briegel surely obstructed there, and the kick given to West Germany. The blustery wind continues, and a yellow card to Servine, number 17. So we've almost got a card game going here. The referee is putting that hand into that pocket with great frequency, and this time it's number 17 for Mexico, Raúl Servine. Peter Briegel down in some pain, but very important for West Germany, already down to 10 men, that Briegel continues. While it's true they have a substitute left, they don't really want to substitute yet. It would be better to leave it for extra time, assuming that there's going to be an extra time, and it's looking more and more this way as the wave tries to inspire this green-shirted Mexican side to score before 90 minutes have elapsed. With 4 Mexicans and 1 West German, and that is not a good ratio for West Germany.
Well, if Mexico are ever going to advance past this quarterfinal for the first time ever, they've got their best chance every year, with Germany playing with 10 men and backed out right in, and Mexico just has to keep coming forward.
Negrete on the left side to Javier Cruz. Apuelo, the crowd, listen to the crowd responding to this man, their local hero, but cleared to Mateus, to Magat. Luckily gains possession again. Now Mexico, a careless ball into their own half down the right side. Servine. All the West Germans in their own half. Servine to Negrete. Mexico employing the slow build-up. Espana looking around, switching it to the middle, to Los Cobos. Looking for the break, looking for the opening, trying to set Sanchez free. No progress, but possession, hoping to gain a quick strike. There's a probing ball. Whistle goes, Sanchez offside, and another Mexican offside in the penalty area. So that threat certainly stifled as a result of 2 players offside. 6 minutes remaining in the second half. Score, West Germany 0, Mexico 0.
And Mexico will find a lot of trouble, even with the extra man, trying to get through all the men that Germany have pulled back, because they have all their own back in their own half. And they need to do it quick. It's a lot quicker, Mexico, and try and catch some of the German players downfield.
Lautaro turns and plays the ball back to Bremer. And the crowd are chanting, Mexico, Mexico. Felix Magat, watched by Servine. Magat still in possession. And Peter Briegel comes into the penalty area, pushes that ball through. Mexico bring it away. Negrete. Matthias, who's done an awful lot of running. And are we going to see another one come out? Brought both out, but fortunately for Matthias, elected the yellow one. So that's a yellow card to Matthias. I've lost count of how many cards have been in this game. Something around 5 seems to be the appropriate figure, and that includes 1 red one. Here comes the Mexican cross. Oh, and a brilliant save by Schumacher. Aguirre could have put Mexico into the semi-finals with that shot, but Tony Schumacher with a tremendous reflective save.
What a tremendous save. There was Aguirre all alone on the full volley. Quick reaction from Schumacher, and he's kept Germany in the game.
So courageous defense by this 10-man West German team. And we're moving towards the last 5 minutes. We're inside the last 5 minutes. And more it looks as if we'll have to play an extra 15 minutes each way. That bounce may have fooled Larios. He got his body well behind it. Now a chance again for Abuelo on this left side, and the crowd roar his support. But a beautiful tackle and conceding a corner by West Germany.
Tremendous defense there by Mateus. He ran darn near the full length of the field to chase Cruz all the way back, and a good sliding tackle.
But one has got to wonder if this game goes into extra time, and the Germans have already run for 90 minutes, and a lot of that with 10 men. Whether they can sustain 15 minutes each way. Here comes the Mexican corner. Schumacher catching it beautifully. Setting Magat away, giving the ball away, but back to Magat. He's run at speed for miles and miles, and he's getting no support here. Green-shirted Mexicans all around him. Klaus Allop. Germans hoping for one chance. Bremer coming in. Now a chance for Hoeneß. Steps on the ball. Germany still in possession, but Hoeneß not quick enough to accelerate onto that ball. So Mexico comes away again, and a glorious chance lost by the 10 men from West Germany. Negrete. Building slowly. Longer chip, lob forward for Sanchez, but pushed away by the German defense. Dieter Hoeneß getting his head to that one, but Mexico in possession. España, a long chip. Abuelo on the right side. Foul, and Peter Briegel. So it's a free kick to West Germany with about 2 minutes remaining in this game. 2 minutes remaining until this game goes into extra time. The Germans showing signs of weariness. The Mexicans knowing that while they cannot bring on any more substitutes, nevertheless it will be 11 men against 10. And perhaps 12 against 10, because this crowd will roar their support increasingly in the extra time. Assuming, of course, that no goal comes in the remaining, fastly diminishing 2 minutes. Cruz and Sanchez forward. Karl-Heinz Forster up to it. Referee gives a kick against Sanchez on Karl-Heinz Forster. Karl-Heinz Forster has done a good job marking Sanchez today. Kept him relatively quiet.
The German defense has played very well, other than one mistake right at the beginning by Bremer. But they've been very solid, dealt with everything very easily, even though they are playing with 10 men.
Bremer pushes it back to Schumacher. The writers of sports thrillers would now have it that Schumacher would clear this ball. It would be latched onto by a German, and Klaus Allop would be on hand to push it wide of Larios and score the winning goal with literally seconds to left. But I don't think we're going to see that. Dieter Hoeneß fighting in vain for possession of that goal. Mexico, Negrete. Hoeneß tackling back. Aguirre, Negrete. Crowd anticipate, but Munoz is dispossessed. Hoeneß in support. Allop. Briegel on the left. Chance here for West Germany. Can't quite get that crossover. And the Mexican defense shepherded back safely to Larios.
But it is really good to see Germany. Here they are with 10 men still coming forward and looking dangerous as well.
And Lothar Matthäus, number 8, Felix Magath, number 10, have done an immense amount of running for Germany in this game. Norbert Eder. Matthäus, back to Eder. And it looks very much as if both sides are accepting the fact of half an hour's more play. The crowd whistling. Bremer puts it out to the left side. Hans-Peter Briegel. There it is, end of 90 minutes. West Germany 0. Mexico 0. We still do not know who it is who will go on to meet France in West Germany. So it will be a real test of their character, a real test of their mental alertness as to whether those 10 men from West Germany can handle the 11 from Mexico. And if the 11 from Mexico triumph and go through to the semi-final for the first time ever in their history, this whole nation will be excited tonight and will celebrate, and we are not going to get any sleep, Sam.
No, we're not going to get any sleep, but if they've ever had a chance to go through, they have it. They have all the advantages they need. Now they just have to be a good enough team to take those advantages.
So the overtime is underway, and it's Mexico in possession. West Germany, too, must remain calm. They must not play about in their penalty area, and they must not wait effort. Dieter Hoeneß, Aloft in the middle. Early chance for Germany. Aloft can't get control of the ball, and wisely does not elect to chase it, but instead conserves his energy by getting back and helping the German defense to mass in their own half in numbers.
Dieter Hoeneß has had trouble getting himself on track. We've noticed a few times him missing some passes. This being only his first start, he must be a little bit rusty for game situations.
We haven't seen yet whether West Germany have put on a substitute. Villas-Boas. Sanchez moving up front. But that's a high leaping German header clear. Dieter Hoeneß, nice touch back. Magath not able to run under that ball. Now 3 Germans caught in the middle, a chance down the left for Abuelo. Sanchez trying to get in the area, but hooked away by Dietmar Jakob. Mexico still in possession. Servín. Good chance to take men on now and try to run them out on the flanks. Beautiful back heel, almost ricocheting off that clearance. Could have been very dangerous and given a lot of trouble to Tony Schumacher, but it is a West German goal kick.
I think we've already seen the pattern that's going to happen for at least the next half an hour. Mexico playing, looking for holes in the defense, the West German the defense, and them clearing and trying for that counter-attack.
2 Mexicans to head that ball away, but West German possession. Nicely out to Aloft with a little space on the right. Dieter Hoeneß is free at the far post. Not on target. It needs to be deadly accurate to avoid these men wasting their energy. That one not quite on target sufficiently for Hoeneß to collect it and get a shot away. Well, Mexico a chance to come away, moving into the German half in numbers. Negrete looks around, plenty of time. Tries to stretch this German defense by moving the ball to the right. Servín on the right flank. German cover, Briegel waiting. Karl-Heinz Forster tries to intercept, still possession by Servín. There's a chance for Dieter Hoeneß to come away. And Karl-Heinz Forster just hits it solidly into touch for a Mexican throw. Got to give a chance for his defense to reorganize themselves. Mexico probing the right side. Abuelo Cruz thought he was away there. And the Mexicans protest, but the kick goes to West Germany.
Even more interesting there was the referee called it, and it was a fair ways away from him. The linesman there did not put his flag up for a foul.
Fortunately for West Germany, the decision went in their favor. Back to Tony Schumacher. Take his time, because I think now West Germany might well be content to try to play this and send it into penalty kicks, where their experience might well stand them in good stead. But that's a kick to Mexico. So a major defensive campaign by the West Germans, and Mexico trying to probe the German wall of defenders and get that all-important goal that can send them into the semi-final. Villas-Boas. Out to Servín. German defense has to move across to the right side. Servín tries to take on Hans-Peter Briegel, but Briegel's reactions are fast enough, but Servín still in possession, but he's penalized. Linesman made that decision. The referee accepted it. And there is a yellow card to Sanchez. He's already had 2 yellow cards and has missed the game, and he's getting another one there, which might encourage him to stop talking too much to the referee. So a yellow card for Sanchez. I think that's 6 or 7 cards, Sam, in this game.
6 yellows and 1 red.
Is this a World Cup record, we say? Schumacher. Tony Schumacher. These men with yellow cards have got to be very careful they don't get a second one in this game. Chance now for Aloff. Overlapping on the German left. Gives it left to Bremer. Back to Hans-Peter Briegel. Nice flick to Bremer. Maga. Germany still in possession. Bremer down the left side. Cross it in. Larios is out for it. Good clean catch. German threat there, but good keeping. Now a chance for a Mexican break. But it's back to Tony Schumacher, who almost waited too long, but calmly put it away. Bremer again on the left side. Back to Jakob. Bad ball from Jakob gives Mexico possession. Munoz. Looking for spaces. Little too casual. Briegel taking the height advantage. Hoeneß trying to go through. Not able to get on that ball. Hoeneß certainly not a clever ball player. They didn't bring him on for his brilliance on the ground. And they're not giving him service up the front, unfortunately, to allow him to use his heading ability. But Briegel up the left side. Looks for support. Finds it in the form of Aloff. Nice ball from Aloff to Hoeneß, but as you said, Sam, Hoeneß hasn't really got into this game at all. It's his first start in the World Cup. Very, very difficult indeed to adjust, and it's perhaps a rather unfair situation to place him in.
Very unfair situation, not having played him to come into this situation, especially when he's a better player in the air than he is on the ground. And here he's having to play a situation where he needs to be a target man on the ground so they don't give the ball away.
Mexico in possession. Munoz. Mexico having the time to just stroke this ball around one to another. Servin. Plenty of space in this part of the field, but as they get into this area, Sanchez trying to go round the man again into his dramatic acting role. Deciding to take off shin guards, and the referee suggesting to him this is no time or place to do this. But they have gained a kick from it, and so there's every reason for Tony Schumacher to look anxious. Sanchez electing to play without shin guards.
And this is where Germany has to be more careful now, especially since they're tired. Their mental tiredness is a big part of this game, especially when you get into overtime. They have to really concentrate here, set their wall up well, and do their covering.
So Eldir Negrete, number 22, is on hand for this free kick, as is Raul Servin. Tony Schumacher has his wall in place. 5-man German wall. 3 Mexicans attached to the end of that wall too. Here he comes. Negrete with a left footer. The wall partially blocks it. Schumacher coming to the edge of his area in support. And so another Mexican threat handled by the West Germans. Long throw by Tony Schumacher. Wearing the captain's armband now, of course, that Rummenigge is off. That's a good clean tackle. Throw quickly taken. Abuelo, the grandfather, takes his man on, beats him beautifully, coming into the area. And panic for a moment there by the German defense, but able to clear. But the Mexicans still in possession. Cruz again, no offside, but he hits it straight to German legs. Magat on hand. Oh, surely we'll get the other yellow card. Bound to be. He was nowhere near the ball. And he gets the red card, and so they're down to 10 men each. That was no question about that. That was an intentional foul, nowhere near the ball. Made no attempt at all to go for it, and so Aguirre will get his marching orders, and the teams are now down to 10 men.
It was a good call by the referee, and I mean, a silly move by Aguirre, because Mateus had gone by him. He would have been better left to go by. Instead, he tries to do a bit of a American football block on him, and now he pays for it.
blatant body check, well deserving of the result. And particularly stupid on the part of Aguirre. Schumacher sympathetic, perhaps remembering his experience with Battiston of France in the '82 World Cup, when he should have been sent off without question and wasn't. And so they are down to 10 men, and this must be an inspirational time for the West Germans. They now at least are on even terms numerically, and they have a substitute available. The Mexican coach will doubtless be very, very annoyed with that very badly disciplined move by Aguirre. Thoughtless and deserving of being sent off. So now they're down to 10 men. Bremer.
And it may not be the last one. We still have an awful lot of players with one yellow card in this game, so we could be in for some interesting records in this game.
Hans-Peter Briegel. Long ball to Aloff. Can he find support? Mexico bring it away. Agrete, German interception. Play becoming scrappy again now as fatigue takes its toll. Bremer, who's done a lot of work in this game, he has support on the right. Pushes it in to Dietmar Jakobs, who's moving forward now and is playing further forward. Germany reorganizing their men. Bremer pushes it well back to Matthäus. And more it looks as if Germany are going to be content to try to play possession football and take it to the ultimate, the penalty shootout. Hans-Peter Briegel tries the give and go. Briegel still showing a fair turn of speed as we move to 12 minutes of the first 15 of overtime. German throw. Klaus Allofs. If Klaus Allofs can get himself into the penalty area, he will pose great problems for this Mexican defense because he has a most accurate shot. Throw to West Germany. And Briegel refuses Bremer's offer to take the throw. And that's a corner. So less than 3 minutes of this first period of extra time. And that is a corner as the referee mops his brow, and well he might, because this is a very, very tense job. A very, very important job indeed. Corner to Germany. Larios can't hold that ball, but gets it in a second attempt. Heart in mouth for 47,000 Mexican spectators there as Larios failed to hold that cross. But no West German on hand to take the knockdown.
Larios very lucky. He came underneath the ball here. It came off his hands, and he was so lucky there wasn't more German shirts there to put that ball in the net. He managed to scramble it back.
So the Mexicans on the attack. That might have been a careless clearance, but West Germany hook it away. Aloff playing the Lone Ranger role up in the Mexican half. Cruz down the left side. Munoz. Slow Mexican build-up. Servin. Germany now coming to challenge. And German ball. Hugo Sanchez is up on the edge of the West German penalty area. In some pain. Looks as if his leg is cramped up, but it's Germany now on the attack. Hans-Peter Briegel. Germans moving around with fresh found energy. Chance for Aloff to get in his cross. And he gains another corner for West Germany. And West Germany doubtless stimulated considerably by that rather silly sending off by Aguirre, as we see Tony Schumacher assisting the fallen opposition, helping Sanchez to overcome his cramp. Almost inevitable that players are going to cramp up, having lost so much fluid in this heat and playing beyond the 90-minute mark. And Schumacher shows his background in sports medicine, we hope, by relieving Hugo Sanchez of his cramp. And now the official relief comes on.
Germany starting to play much better now that it's even 10 men each. They're coming forward. That last bit was very good for them. They've got another corner. They need to try and swing this ball into the big Dieter Honus, and hopefully he can get his head on it.
And the sole representative from Colombia, the 31-year-old referee, Mr. Palacio, calls for the stretcher bearers to get Sanchez off the field, and this may improve his cramp enormously. No, he decides to have the seat, and they'll get him off to the side where they can give him the sort of attention that's necessary to ease the cramp in his leg.
And we were a little bit worried about the German fitness level, but we had not seen them go down with cramps yet. Here we see a Mexican going down with cramps.
So the referee shows his fitness. He will run 6,000 or 7,000 yards in a game like this. More, of course, when it's overtime. Fortunate that he's youthful. A quick swig of water by Bremer before he takes his corner. Hans-Peter Briegel in the 6-yard area. Larios hoping he can hold this one cleanly this time. Here he comes. Flick on by Briegel. Oh, and that was very close.
Very, very close, and I'm not sure that didn't come off a Mexican player trying to clear the ball almost into his own net.
It did, and that's why Alof is going down to take a corner from the left. So Germany certainly pressing in this first 15 minutes of extra time. Certainly in the ascendancy in the last 5 minutes. Here he comes again, an in-swing ball, too strong. Wasted ball, and Alof, or any of the West Germans for that matter, can ill afford to waste balls like this. There's the end of the first 15 minutes. The referee wants the Adidas Azteca ball back. And they have 1 minute only to recover. And it looks as if West Germany were looking for a substitute there. Trainers trying to come out with water, sponges, and any other aids that are deemed valuable. They only have 1 minute, and the referee says, no, we don't want this. They can pick them up on the run. Fuel on the grass. Very much needed refreshment because they must keep their fluid intake high. When they lose fluid in situations like this, it can reduce their efficiency enormously. If they lose body weight by as much as 3 to 5% only of body weight due to fluid loss, it can reduce work capacity by as much as 20 and 30%. And that is incredible in a game like this when the teams are already down to 10 men and they have 15 more minutes to play. Because if you're carrying players who are down 20 to 30% in efficiency as a result of fluid loss, which is reducing their weight by 3 to 5%, they can be literally ineffective. So it's very important to get that fluid in. The referee's given them their minute. They've had a chance to grab their bags of water. And West Germany will kick off for the second 15 minutes. And if there is no score at the end of this, we will be into penalties.
And they must, all the players here, again, they're losing all this fluid. They're feeling tired. They still have to keep their mental awareness about them, not to make any mistakes.
Hans-Peter Briegel to Bremer. Cross to the right side. So Germany increasing in confidence and increasing their domination of this game now that they're on even terms. Bremer tries a long one. Larios is alert to it, gets the body well behind, covers the ball in those arms. West Germany showing more threat now. Now Mexico in possession.
Again, Mexico with this slow build-up, it's the perfect thing for West Germany because they can fall back and defend, and it makes it almost easy for them.
Munoz. Why West Germany have not brought on their one remaining substitute, Sam, I do not understand. To bring a Litbarski on now would seem to me to be very valuable indeed, unless they have supreme confidence in this group. Magat, Alof. Good tackle by Savine there to bring it clear. And that ball off Magat for a Mexican goal kick.
The only other thing I can think of is leaving the team that's out there right now is maybe they are the best penalty shooters, and in the end, that's maybe who he wants on the field to be able to select from.
So the Germans spending a little more time in the Mexican half and beginning to find their men a little better. Cruz is offside. Pitch to Germany. And we will look with some anticipation at the West German bench to see if Franz Beckenbauer decides to bring on a substitute. Sanchez still having some treatment. Mexico in no position to bring on a substitute because they've already got their 2 men on. So Sanchez has got to recover from that cramp and get back to help this Mexican team, now depleted to 9 men. Temporarily, we hope. Here's a chance. Can he control the ball? German support, but too strong for Dieter Hoeneß. Their one chance to put that ball on target, and they wasted it. But still possession, Hans-Peter Briegel inside the penalty area, and that's got to be a corner conceded by Mexico, blocked by Cruz for a West German corner.
Good pressure by Germany. They're coming forward well. They're starting to find holes in the Mexican defense, and they're getting these very effective corner kicks as well. Testing Larios.
Andreas Bremer. Good catch by Larios. Bravely up with Hans-Peter Briegel in attendance. And the training that Milutinovic has given Larios is clearly playing off. And behind the goal area, we have Hugo Sanchez still receiving treatment for that cramped leg muscle. Germany in possession again. Hoeneß moving forward, gets it. Does he have the pace? Not quite. A yard faster would have been very valuable there. Mexico coming away. Munoz. Slow Mexican build-up, but they're 9 men to Germany's 10. Sanchez still not recovered. Mexico in no position to do anything about it other than hope he will recover. Jakobs tries the left side. Hans-Peter Briegel waiting patiently. Alof's making a run. That's a beautiful stretch pass by Larios.
And one of the few times that we saw them looking for Dieter Hoeneß at that far post. Just a little bit higher than they would have had it, but Larios dealing a little bit better with these high balls than he did with some of the earlier ones.
Good seeing by Hans-Peter Briegel, who saw Hoeneß moving. Now there's a chance. Looks as if there was a little bit of handball involved there. The referee close enough to see it. Looks as if another Mexican is cramping. And the Mexicans, who one would have expected to be handling this heat better than the West Germans, appearing to be suffering more from fatigue than their West German opposition at the moment. Although, in fairness, Mexico perhaps not as used to the heat in Monterrey, because they play a lot of their games in Mexico City and Toluca. And this is their first time away from Azteca. And now, to the relief of the 47,000 Mexicans, Hugo Sanchez recovered from his cramp. And the side's now even at 10 men and an even score, 0-0.
Even though he's back on, he's running a little bit stiff, and it won't take much for another cramp to come on again. And Mexico's going to be in a lot of trouble if this keeps going on.
And any viewers who've suffered from cramp know how unpredictable it is. You think you've recovered from it, and it comes back, and this looks like a left groin problem. The referee will very quickly bring on the stretchers again if the magic spray does not do its job. So the pendulum of advantage has swung a little in West Germany's favor in this last 5 minutes. Mexico, for a while, having to play 9 men, and perhaps showing greater signs of fatigue than their opponents. But the crowd still urging on the green-shirted Mexicans, and 5 minutes gone in this second period of overtime. One would wonder again why Franz Beckenbauer has not brought on Littbarski with his dribbling skills and his freshness. Surely an opportunity to test this tiring Mexican defense. But Mexico again coming away. A little under 10 minutes remaining. El Dia Negrete. And it's into touch for a West German throw. Taken quickly. Bremer, who's done a lot of work for West Germany in this game. He's got support on the right. Klaus Alof. That's a good ball to Bremer again. He tries a long one, but without much power or direction.
Right now, it does look, though, that West Germany seem to be a little bit stronger. They still seem to be coming forward well. The players look like they're relatively fresh, and we haven't seen any of them with any cramp problems yet.
So we still are mystified as to the thinking behind Franz Beckenbauer not using an available substitute, particularly when he has experienced players who are strikers and who are known good dribblers, and we speak primarily of Pierre Littbarski, but he continues with his 10 stalwarts, who've certainly given their best. Felix Magath, Alof, the Court, Germans going forward in numbers. Hoeneß again, but slow on the acceleration. Those first 2 or 3 strides, ponderous. Not the acceleration that we've seen in some of the World Cup strikers, certainly not the acceleration of a Careca or a Miller from Brazil.
No, not at all, but it's interesting here that Beckenbauer still has not made his substitute. If things do not happen to go well for Germany here and they do happen to lose, I'm sure that he'll have to answer a few questions when he gets back to West Germany as to why he just didn't use the substitute.
Bremer again, and now the ball seems to be going more and more to the white-shirted Germans. They're finding more space, they're finding each other better, and they're making the Mexicans chase a bit, but they are running out of time. There's 8 minutes gone, and there's a foul. Norbert Eder. Now a chance for West Germany to get a ball onto the blonde, balding head of Dieter Hoeneß. They've had very few. This is their chance from this set play. Lothar Matthäus it is who will take this corner.
The successful corners have been to the one to the near post. Let's see if they do that or change it and look for the big man.
And Briegel got his head up. One of the other German big men was headed out. Only temporary relief. No, more permanent relief because it's a kick. Dieter Hoeneß still saying and certainly thinking, please get that ball onto my head so that I can show you what I can do. Put some pressure on the Mexican defense, trying to bring the ball out. Back to Larios. While this game certainly hasn't been the end-to-end exhibition and tension that we had hoped, certainly the fact that they've had to play extra time and down to 10 men each has brought its own brand of drama without being quite the exciting soccer that we had hoped, or certainly the class of play that we saw earlier today when France defeated Brazil on a penalty shootout. And the crowd now seeming to have exhausted themselves too with the extra time, which they probably hadn't anticipated in terms of their vocal cords. But still, the game not over. 9 minutes gone in this second period. 9 minutes in which one side can make that decision, and the linesman very quickly stepping in to avoid the giving of instructions to the Mexican player. Referee having a word with him too. And now, at last, we see the German substitution. As the referee talks to number 6. And number 7, Pierre Littbarski will come on, and Norbert Eder will come off. Is it in time? 5 minutes seems to me to be an awfully short period of time to bring on a substitute. But Beckenbauer has made his decision, and it's now Littbarski's chance to turn this game around for West Germany and save them going into penalties. And it's now up to the West Germans to give Littbarski some ball on the edge of the area where his fresh legs and dribbling ability can put the Mexican defense to the test. Littbarski in possession. Losing it. And arguing over the signs. Javier Cruz charging Littbarski very heavily. Negrete loses out to German possession. Hoeneß in turn can't get to that ball, and Mexico can come away with it. And the roar of the crowd indicates that this may be the last gasp. But German interception, and now a chance for Germany to come away. Karl-Heinz Forster handing off the Mexican opposition, and that's off a Mexican foot for a German throw.
With Littbarski in the game now with the four minutes left or so, it's very difficult for him to get into a flow of such a game that's been going on.
Klaus Allofs trying on his own. Bremer lays it back to Allofs. Can he get that left foot in? He's round his man. Tips it, but straight into the ever-eager hands of Larios, and another threat is stifled by this Mexican defense. That could have been a glorious opportunity if Allofs had just been able to direct that ball onto a head. Clever play by Tony Schumacher, the freshest man on the field. Another chance for Matthäus to Littbarski. Littbarski being very well marked. That flag was up. It didn't seem to me that the entire ball was across that line, but the linesman is in a far better position, and his flag went up. And so we are moving towards what looks to be like the second penalty shootout of the day. On our unofficial time, 3 minutes to go. Mexico in possession. We're in the second half of the extra time. The score, Mexico 0, West Germany 0. We expected it to be a very close game. We thought it would be more entertaining than it has been. It has been pretty well stalemate, with West Germany perhaps slightly ahead on points, and that's offside to Mexico and a kick to West Germany. 2.5 minutes we make it. Throw to West Germany, not a kick. Quickly taken. An opportunity for Maga. Alof's in the middle. Mateus and Maga have done an immense amount of work. Klaus Alof. Chance to give the ball to the fresh Littbarski, but Maga it is. Briegel coming into the area, gets his crop in. Dieter Hernert at last gets ahead to it, but wide of the upright.
It finally came to Dieter Hernert, though, but a good move again. And Magas, who seems to get himself in a great wide position, flips it outside. Here's Briegel overlapping, and Dieter Hernert just couldn't get behind it. Just a little timing off.
So a chance to get it on Dieter Hernert's head, a chance that went astray.
But here we are almost in the last couple of minutes of overtime after a full game, and there was Hans-Peter Briegel on an overlap trying to cross that ball.
Just the heart of a lion and tremendous fitness, and a big man too. A lot of body weight to haul around that pitch, but giving a very, very fine demonstration of thorough physical preparation and tremendous mental strength. And late chance for Mexico. German tackle beautifully timed. Dietmar Jacobs got into that tackle and saved the threat. So Germany come away again. Time running out. We make it 1.5 minutes. Another chance for Hernert. Gets his head to it. No support. Back to Jacobs. Still West German possession. The time very much against them. Briegel a chance down the left side. Alof tries one across the 6-yard area, but Hernert unable to get on the end of that one.
And I'm not sure whether he was trying to cross that Alof or just in frustration having a shot, because it wasn't a ball that anyone was going to get to.
And one can't help but think that the Germans and the Mexicans are now saying, what is the order of our penalty taking? Can we be calm, cool and collected and push them past this goalkeeper on our 5 penalty shots? Because we make it unofficially, we're inside the final minute of the second half of overtime. Pablo Larios seems to agree with us. He's in no hurry to take this goal kick. We're literally down to the last seconds of this second period of overtime. There's a long chance for a Mexican breakaway, but it's Germany who has possession. Littbarski pushes it down. This is surely the last opportunity for Mateus. The referee blows. Is that for the kick or no? It's the arm pointed to the center. That is the second period of extra time over. The score, Mexico 0, West Germany 0, and so we're down to the second occasion on this day that we will have a penalty shootout. And this crowd still have to await the decision as to whether their team are going to be in the first semi-final ever in the World Cup.
It'll be very interesting if we can all remember West Germany in their last shootout, and it happened to be against France. And of course, Schumacher was notorious for saving there, but he must have moved on every one of them. And will he try and do the same thing to try and throw the Mexican players off?
So now the mental preparation as well as the physical recovery has to take over. There's Franz Beckenbauer just going through the shooting order. This is a time for calmness under pressure. Has a quick word with Lothar Matthäus. He knows where he'll be shooting. The water is going down. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who can't take part in this, of course, because he was taken off. He's the player in the green top, no shoes, enjoying the relaxation, no doubt. There's Tony Schumacher with his bag under his arm, putting his cap in safely, knowing that he's going to be put under pressure at least 5 times, as will Pablo Larios in the Mexican goal.
You would think after 120 minutes of soccer that the pressure would be off, but the pressure is even greater now. Every time the player steps up to that ball, the game could be decided on it.
So the referee and the linesman, the referee, Jesus Diaz Palacio of Colombia, and the linesman Christopher Bambridge of Australia and Alan Snoddy of Northern Ireland. making their decisions now as to which end it will be and who will shoot first. And it will be 5 shots. And the pressure is on for one-on-one test of calmness, of accuracy, of precision. The referee's task, of course, to determine that the goalkeeper has stayed on his line until such time as the ball is struck. It's much easier for us up here to determine whether the goalkeeper has moved with the advantage of television monitors than it is for a referee. Joel Batts of France this morning, remarkably well disciplined, and although, as Tony Waiters pointed out in his analysis, he did move a little bit, compared to some modern-day goalkeepers, he was exceptionally well disciplined and played superbly in the French goal.
And in any instance, this is almost always a sure goal, but as we saw this afternoon, the great Michel Platini, and with the pressure or whatever it was, he managed to miss a shot. So you never know what's going to happen when that person steps up to this ball.
So the Germans, with their legs elevated to drain the waste product from these very tired limbs and bring some degree of refreshment to them before they have to stride up and strike this ball from the penalty spot. In their case, hopefully past the Mexican goalkeeper Larios, and of course the same true for the Mexicans, hoping that their legs will stand it and their characters will stand the pressure, and that they in turn can stroke the ball past Tony Schumacher 5 times. The penalty spot, 12 yards away from the goal line, 10.97 meters. The goal mouth that the goalkeeper has to defend, 8 feet high to the crossbar, or 2.44 meters. 8 yards wide, or 24 feet, or if you prefer metric measurement, 7.31 meters. It should be that no goalkeeper can ever stop a penalty kick if the ball is stroked fast enough and wide enough, and if he was still on his line at the moment the ball was struck. But as we've seen already in this World Cup, this has happened on more than one occasion, not only this morning or earlier today, but also during normal games when the full 90 minutes have been played and penalties have been awarded. There we see the Mexican coach, Bora Milutinovic, going out, and the referee, Tony Schumacher, mentally preparing himself for the task of defending the German goal against the initial 5 Mexican penalty shots.
And it'll be interesting, of course, for Mexico to see if Hugo Sanchez steps up to take a penalty, of course, having missed the last one that he took against Paraguay that could have won the game for them. So there's a little bit going through his mind, I'm sure.
So it can be 0-0. Hero if you do the job, and goat if you do not. So the pressure is unquestionably there, but more pressure than anything else is brought upon the player by himself.
But the big thing about this is you've got to wait 4 years. If you happen to miss one, you've got to wait 4 years to make up for it all over again. So very, very important.
So for Mexico, 2 years of preparation come down to this. If they keep their heads and do their job, it's through to the semi-final for the first time ever. And the nation will rejoice, and we will not get sleep.
And most people must think that they must practice these penalty shots all the time, but it's one of those things you can practice all the time, but when you step up to this ball with 47,000 people screaming, it becomes a totally different story.
So Tony Schumacher is in the German goal. And the linesman just do the last final count to see that we have 5. The Mexican team assemble in a very close group, hoping that they can will their players to shoot it over that goal line and beat Tony Schumacher. But first, Klaus Allofs takes the first kick for Germany against Pablo Larios. And the crowd are roaring. Roaring, of course, for 2 reasons. 1, to support Pablo Larios, and 2, to hope that they can destroy Klaus Allofs and distract him sufficiently. And on your screen now, that goal mouth doesn't look very wide. And where Klaus Allofs is, it probably doesn't look very wide. But where Pablo Larios is, it probably looks as wide as a huge river. But here it is. Penalty number 1, Allofs, West Germany, versus Larios of Mexico. And the crowd are roaring, and if he misses this, they'll roar even more. But he doesn't miss it. Straight as a bullet, Larios goes the wrong way. West Germany won.
A well-taken penalty by Alov. He waited. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He's left-footed, just opened up his foot, and right in the corner. Sent Larios the wrong way. But the goalie has to make a decision. Which way am I going to go? And he just happened to choose wrong. But a good penalty shot by Alov.
Beautifully placed. No chance, and he pulls that jersey away from that throbbing heart. And now, Mexico against Tony Schumacher.
The referee watching the placement of the ball very carefully. It has to be in that circle, but of course that circle's been dug up a little bit, and all the players are worried. They don't want to get it up too high, because if it's on a little bump, they just may kick underneath it, and it'll go up over the bar.
And it is Eldir Negrete who scored that beautiful volleyed goal. Can he now score from the penalty spot? Tony Schumacher waits. The referee indicates all is ready. Calmly struck. Nonchalantly struck even, and the crowd roared their approval. Schumacher committed himself to the right.
And he did exactly what Alov did, but just went the opposite way. Schumacher guessed wrong. Well taken, calm, cool penalty. Good penalty shot.
Score 1-1. Well, that's a good example to his Mexican teammates, as was Alov a good example to the West Germans.
So far, we've seen both penalties taken very coolly in place. This morning, we saw some just hit very hard. So what will Bremen do?
Fullback Bremer, who played such a magnificent game for the full 90 minutes and the 15 minutes each way. And in it goes. Bremer. West Germany 2, Mexico 1.
And again, another good penalty shot. The goalkeeper going the wrong way, but hit it very well. I think he was just making up his mind, I want to make good contact with this ball and hit it well. And if Negrete had stayed in the middle for Larios, sorry, he may have gotten that one.
So Schumacher. The fourth shot. Ball is placed on the spot. Number 3, Kirate. He who had the German Berthold send off. Mexican centre back, can he make it 2-2? And Schumacher saves from Kirate. He got his foot to it. So the score 2-1.
What a good save by Schumacher. He left his feet behind him there, and that's what caught the ball, because it went down the middle. In fact, it was not even down the middle. A poorly taken penalty, down the middle, left his legs there, and caught it with his leg. But a good save. Any penalty that saves, as Tony said, is a good save by the goalie.
So 47,000 Mexicans are now trying to inspire their remaining 3 penalty kickers to do the job and trying to distract sufficiently at least 1 and preferably 2 Germans not to do theirs. Lothar Matthäus, who played superbly and gave them his all throughout the entire game. Here he goes. And it's in. 3-1 West Germany. That was a very close call.
And Larios this time did guess the right way, but when you hit a penalty shot well, it was down low in the corner. Larios couldn't get to it. Well taken by Matthäus. Very unlucky for Larios. He went the right way.
3-1 West Germany. The crowd hushed a little, relatively hushed. If Mexico were to hit this one, I think we would see quite amazing scene. Number 17, Raul Servi. Fullback who played well. And Schumacher saves another time. He telegraphed that one. Servin telegraphed that one. So surely now, West Germany must go through.
Servin did not look confident going up to this ball, and he barely even made contact with it. Easy for Schumacher, guessed the right way, but not a well-taken one. He didn't look confident stepping up into that ball.
And Schumacher stood his ground and stayed on his line, and there we see a dejected Bora Milutinovic. 3-1 to West Germany. And Pierre Litvarsky, who was brought on so late by Franz Beckenbauer as a substitute. This is a chance for him to prove that the substitute was a very wise one. If he scores this one, then there is absolutely no hope. The crowd trying to distract him. Larios still on his line. And Litvarsky concentrates and begins his move. And that is struck very, very cleanly with great authority. And West Germany it is who will meet France in the semi-final.
And they can thank their coolness on penalties, but they can thank Schumacher, who saved 2 penalties. But what a lovely penalty by Litvarsky. He stepped up and he just fits it very well into that corner.
And so the West Germans celebrate as well they might. 90 minutes and no score. 15 minutes each way and no score. And 4-1 on penalties. Great calmness under pressure. And they will meet France in the semi-final. And for those who think it will be easy meat for France, they must think again, because West Germany, having survived this, will come on strongly in what should be a fine semi-final. And World Cup 86 on CBC Sport will continue after this message.